stimulus check update. I hope you're all having a good morning. I've got a little bit to go over with you all. It's a new article come out this morning. It's got some stuff in it. But first, if you wouldn't care, guys, for the ones that ain't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up, and it would really help me help you all. And it will just help the channel grow, and it just will help everybody. I'll go over this, guys. This is the first article that's actually been out in the last couple of days, so I'll go over it with you all. But first, let's talk about the skinny bill that we all knew that Mitch McConnell wasting his time trying to come up with these standalone bills. These people's a joke. Just pass one bill and get the money out to the people. Get these checks out to the people. They just every time they come up with a bill, Mitch McConnell, he don't want to give you all a stimulus check. He don't want the Americans to have nothing. Just them and their rich friends. That's all they care about. They don't care about nothing else. Truth's the truth. The GOP's latest skinny relief bill, for which a vote was held in the Senate this week, was dead on arrival. Meanwhile, talks between Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin continue for a much larger package, and chances of a bill being approved before Election Day are slim to none. Nothing unusual, right? Now, which of course, let's see, that package, okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, millions of Americans will be hoping that the package includes provision for a second round of the $1,200 stimulus checks that were first issued 6 months ago. You know, some people thought that the bill they was voting on Wednesday had the $1,200 stimulus checks in the bill. It never had nothing. It never had it in the bill. I'll go over what right here's all it had in the bill. It had expanded unemployment benefits, funding for schools, and a second round of the Payment Protection Program, which is PPP. And it did not include a second round of economic impact payments. It did not. So, now let's go over what Pelosi and Mnuchin's negotiations are saying. Now, both Democrat Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and Republican Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin have reverted to finger pointing in the face of mounting criticism and frustration among citizens desperate for another relief payment. When asked by MSNBC on Friday if a deal could be struck, Pelosi said, "We could do that before the election if the president wants to." Now, what she's saying by if the president wants to, to remind you, she's talking about if he wants to. She's asking $2.2 trillion. As far as I know, the White House has only went up to 1.8. They was talking about going bigger, but they've not said nothing or come out with nothing yet that I know of. It's no bigger than the 1.8. So that's what she's talking about if the president wants to. If he wants to, she's saying, well, if he'll come up to maybe 2.1 or my 2.2 offer, somewhere in that range, then we can probably strike a deal. I just don't see that happening. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in the next couple of days, but I'm telling you, I don't know. It's just hard to say right now. Now, Mnuchin told reporters that the two sides had made significant progress but put the responsibility on Pelosi for further movement. We've offered compromises, he said. The Speaker on a number of issues is still dug in. If she wants to compromise, there will be a deal. Now, he's talking about if she wants to compromise, come in, meet in the middle somewhere. She's wanting 2.2. They're offering 1.8 as of now. Before, she was asking 2.4, and they was only at 1.6. So she come down some, and they come up some. So that's close. I mean, that's, you know. But what he's saying is she needs to come down some, and maybe they can strike a deal. Let's see. Now, he goes on to say, hopefully, okay, now both Pelosi and White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows remain optimistic that an agreement can be reached soon. Hopefully, we can get a deal in the next day or so. Now, this was just come out this morning, this article did. Now, Meadows said, we're still working through it. Secretary Mnuchin and I have talked, and we're still working with her teams, but actually making adjustments and trying to look at the language to reach a compromise. I mean, for my God's sake, if you're just working on the language, now at first I didn't think the language really meant a whole lot, but it does. If the language is wrong in the bill, that means the stuff can be done or not done. It depends on how the language. I'm not for sure about that. I've not really studied that or read up on it. But what little I listen to it, if the language is wrong in the bill, then there can be some no-nos or stuff that could be done that shouldn't be done, or things that, you know, it's to the yes or no stuff. I mean, I'm not for sure. I'm not sure about that, guys. But it's very important that the language is apparently needs to be correct in this bill or any bill. Now, she also said, well, now Trump. Now Trump wants stimulus. Now he goes to say, Trump wants stimulus. Can't offer big enough total. Now, in recent weeks, Trump was weighed into the negotiations until this month, largely headed up by his Treasury Secretary, Stephen Mnuchin. The president called for Republicans to support a more expensive bill, despite it clashing with the party's resistance to large-scale government spending, which is that's what he tweeted and said. Republicans should be strongly focused on completing a wonderful stimulus package for the American people. Now, the president had balked at the Democrats' initial $2.2 trillion package when he was first presented with it, and refused to go any higher than $1.6 trillion in financial relief. However, he upped that to a new $1.8 trillion package, but the Democrat lead House of Representatives appears unlikely to accept any deal below $2 trillion. So, like I said, they come up to 1.8. The White House did. And she come down, Nancy Pelosi, the Democrats come down from 2.4 to 2.2. So, if he's saying around $2 trillion, then that's close. Maybe she could come down a little bit more, if they can meet in the middle and get this done and get this money out to people. Our country is in so bad a shape. Our country is a mess, guys. Every morning people wakes up, they don't know how they're going to, most people don't know how they're going to get their meal, how they're going to feed their children. It's a shame. It's a disgrace that our leaders have let this go on. It's, you know, they're bitching back and forth about, really, it's about them. They don't care about us. Some of them might, but the ones that's doing this negotiating don't care nothing about us. They just don't. Simple as that. If they did, since this COVID-19 has hit, and since they have really had to step up and do some stuff, they've showed their true colors to the American people. They might as well stand in front of a camera and do that right there to the American people, because that's what they're saying. These other countries is helping their citizens and people. We've got one little stimulus check, and you know what? The biggest majority of that money out of that whatever it was, $3 trillion or whatever it was, billionaires and trillionaires got money. Well, I'm not trillionaires. I'm sorry. Millionaires and billionaires got money from that absolutely did not need it. Now, what do you think about that? And months later, a lot of people spoke up and said, it's a shame that happened. It's a shame that the government give millionaires and billionaires stimulus money out of this stimulus package to them. And for what? They didn't need it. They could have added that to this back when they first gave it out, and gave everybody a bigger stimulus check, and helped the small businesses, the working people. But they give it to millionaires and billionaires. What do you think about that? You don't really want to know my honest opinion, and I won't say it on camera. I won't do it. I get too heated over it. Now, Pelosi described Trump's latest offer as insufficient and claimed that it amounted to one step forward, two steps back in negotiation. Now, Trump desperate for pre-election economic boost. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like Trump. He's all right for a person, yes. But for a president, hell no. Absolutely not. No. It's my opinion now. Now, the matter of financial support for an ailing economy would always have caused a rift between the two major parties, but the proximity to the election on November the 3rd makes these discussions even more continuous. Now, the president is behind in the polls and needs to offer the electorate something significant if he is to see off challenger Joe Biden and secure a second term. Joe Biden and secure a second term after last week's announcement that he was ending negotiations on a stimulus bill. The market suffered a sharp downturn as the prospect of immediate financial support appeared unlikely. Guys, if you pay any attention, if you know anything about government, and if you've watched this, our president, he don't deserve to. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into that, I'm sorry. He ain't worth talking about. Now, it remains to be seen if and when the new government will be able to pass a new stimulus bill to include another round of economic impact payments. But the evidence from Brookings seems to suggest that it could have a substantial effect on the U.S. economy. Well, of course it's going to have an effect. If we don't get no help, then we ain't going to have no economy. Simple as that. See it how you want to, guys. I mean, now, my opinion, everybody's got the right to their own opinion. I don't know. I'm just hoping I'm just hoping, like I said yesterday, for the ones that did watch, one day they're saying that most likely, or they will pass something by election. The next day they're saying most likely won't. I mean, they're misleading everybody. And for the people that does try to give you give the people the information, like some of the YouTubers, the ones that really does try to make a good video to tell the people the honest truth about what's going on. Well, one day they're saying something, and the next day they're saying something else. That's just misleading information. And here we are telling that to you all, and so we have to come back the next day when one day we gave you good news, next day we got to come back and give you bad news. Makes you look bad on us, but like I said, we're just relaying the message to you all, and I don't like doing that. That's bad. I wish they wouldn't do that. Then they just get this done and get it out. People need this 3 months ago. It's crazy. It's just crazy, guys. We'll see. I don't know if anything will happen today or not. If it does, I'll let y'all know. I'll make another video, but it probably won't. But if it does, I will. Instead of making 2 or 3 videos a day on everything they do, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to wait till something happens, then I'll make one, because there's no use in making one if there's not something important going on. There's just no use in it. But, guys, just stay safe out there, please. Wear your mask when you go into the stores, and if you're around people, just have your mask on. And stay safe, take care of yourself, and God will see us through this bad time. He won't let us down. He won't. And guys, I love you. Stay safe. God bless.